Hey, my wonderful, lovely people, a pleasant evening to everybody. Beautiful people, I don't know if many Jamaicans have seen the video of, it is in some sort of lane. I'm not sure where it is at, if it is in St. Andrew, Kingston metropolitan area, or one of the rural areas. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. But it seems more in the Kingston metropolitan area. And apparently, I don't know, a man in a hard hat and the bright vest. I don't know if he was coming from or going to work. I don't know if he, but the houses that are, I don't know if it's sort of like how the tenement yards are, and the lane looks very narrow. So he's running, and there is a man running behind him, using a lot of indecent language and telling him to come out of his yard. And it sounded as if, I was playing it over and over, it sounded as if he's saying, because he's out on the outside, that he's not in his yard, so he's in a communal space. And the man started to be very aggressive, the aggressor. So the hard hat man, I'm going to call him the victim, which he really ended up being the victim and was badly victimized to his demise. And and you had the perpetrator, who was the aggressor. He was very aggressive. He was quite arrogant and rude. I think he forgot that he too is human, and he too is flawed. I don't know if he thought he was a god. And I mean, he was really badding up the man. I tell him to come out and threatening the man, and I guess the man had a knife. You have some men who will walk with their own little protection. And so I guess if he's coming at him like that, and I mean, it's assaulting. He's assaulting him as far as I'm concerned, because he's in his face and he's coming upon him. And, I think once I saw him like he shoved him or something of the sort, and threatening him and telling him to what's it not out of my yard. And in my head, I'm like, but the man is not even in your yard. You ran him down. And, the man doesn't know what you're going to do. So, the aggressor is, his decibel went up. He was extremely aggressive. And obviously, as a man, the other man has his own ego. He has to defend himself. And maybe he pulled out his I don't know if it's a ratchet or whatever. And the man said, you, like him saying something like, you pull out or whatever. And then he just seemed give him a couple shots, well. A few shots, well, I should say. And what people will see videos. I'm there looking at the video. I couldn't even move. And it's like him just step over him like he was a dirty rag, like he was a piece of lint or a bottle cap, like he was just a dead dog on the ground. He just was walking, pacing back and forth. I don't know if his adrenaline was too high. I don't know if he realized what he did, why he acted that way. But it was just, the reality is that he didn't even, after a while to me, reach into a mode where he says, what have I done? It almost seemed for me watching him, like when you're watching those movies with the serial annihilators, when it is something that they do repeatedly, just let them walk back and forth with no emotion. It to me, it would seem as if it is something that he's used to. And he's almost doing that to say, oh my God, what am I going to now do with the body? And that is how I'm reading it. What was even more puzzling for me, my beautiful people, is the fact that some people they're watching, and then some come looking, and then they waited a while before and then they all came outside and just moseying along back and forth. Some looking down to see them as though they're used to seeing dead bodies on the ground, used to seeing them being annihilated. When you see the people coming, I was saying it to somebody, and they said, boy, Toni-Ann, what were they to really do? What were they to do? A cold-blooded annihilation took place. Cold-blooded, without mercy, without care, without consideration, without compassion. Because you consider the man to be nothing, to be like a little mange dog that you just took because he pulled this thing. You said, oh, he pulled, because you're actually, as a man, you are assaulting him, sir. You are assaulting him. So what you did was wrong, it was so wrong on so many levels. That entire video, you are aggressive, you're vitriolic, you're controlling, you're browbeating the man, and you expected the man at no point in time to even come to some defense. And because he pulled out what may be a ratchet, or I don't even want to call the word, a gadget, let's call it a gadget, you decide to you are so trigger happy that you decide to pull your weapon out and get rid of the man. Because you made him. Because you made him, and you're the law of the land. Whatever you say goes, whatever you do is right. The laws of the land shall, and I hope they do, hold you accountable. And what was even puzzling is that, I guess, when they would have come and more than likely you're arrested and charged and whatnot because of the videos out there. And you said that because the man pulled a knife on you, but they showed the video of you chasing the man. Was it a robbery? You didn't say that he was trying to rob you. You were startled, you were frightened, you were affrighted, sorry. He was robbing your place. Nothing of the sort. And as I said, the man had on the hard hat. I don't know, the impression that I got is that he is at work or going to work or whatever it is. And based on how those yards are set up, you maybe have to pass through somebody. I don't know. But the man is ready. He is running away, which means he's fearing for his own life. Because if he was not, he would not have been running. He would have stayed there and fought. But the man obviously feared for his life, for him to be running away from somebody like you. And I can understand, which tells me that he seemed to be familiar with who you are. He seems to have been familiar with who you are. And that is why he ran away. You were extremely aggressive. You were extremely arrogant. And you felt good that you had what you call your protection or your defense. And a man stepped to you trying to protect himself. And you said, you just pull it in and just give him cup. You wanted to do it long time. A long time to me. When I watched that video, may God forgive me if I'm judging incorrectly. It seems as though you wanted to do that long time. There has to be some beef. And you are so trigger happy. And they say arrogant people, you don't think when you're doing certain things. You don't think when you're doing certain things. You don't think when you are doing certain things. You didn't even know that there was a camera taking everything in, hearing your voice loud and clear. And I know sometimes when these things go to court, if it is not properly vetted, they would be inadmissible because it can be, they say it can be doctored. But that to me was not doctored. I mean, we saw a clear-cut video for about almost 3 minutes. You just see the video. When it just started, you don't see anything. And then you eventually see a man running and somebody running behind him and saying all manner of things. So it's not a moments later kind of video. What do we say about men like you? What do we say? The laws of the land, obviously, they need to lock you up. But we like when the laws of God deal with men like you. Because you feel that you're the big bad wolf. You feel like you're the shiznit. You feel like you can just, at the snap of a finger, the drop of a hat, you take somebody's life. That you cannot in no time, space, or anything give. Ever. And you feel that you can just come and take somebody's life. You're despicable. God's judgment shall land is upon you, my dear sir. Don't worry about it. He might beat you. Anyway, guys, you know what to do with TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of those lands.